Hello, Tom again. You've made it to the last video in the series. Good for you. So where we're at right now is we're going to be looking at conversion operators. So here I am in the program class. We've gone through all of the other different parts. We're at part 7, conversion operator, that particular method. So what we're going to do in this video is we're going to create a new Cartesian point. I'll call it point object, and I'll initialize it to 8888 for now. Then we're going to display it just the way that it is. All right. And then what I want to do is I want to display it a second time, but this time I want to typecast it as something else, and the something else will be a simple point structure. Okay. Now these two things, it shouldn't be that hard because they're both kind of XY coordinates. But obviously, C# doesn't necessarily understand that context. So it's complaining to me right now that it can't convert a Cartesian point to a simple point. So what we want to do is we want to be able to define this particular operator. Okay, so I'm just going to save it the way it is. And we'll go into the Cartesian point class. And if you scroll down to near the end of the class where it says overloading conversion operator, converts a Cartesian point to a simple point struck explicitly. This is where we'll actually code this particular method. All right, so it's a public method. Okay, it's static because it's an operator function, just like all the other operator functions are static in C#. Now at this point I have two options. I can say whether this typecasting operator or type operator is going to be something that can be used only explicitly, or if it will work for implicit conversion as well. So I'm going to either say explicit, okay, which is a keyword, or implicit, which is a different keyword. Obviously can't be both, so it's going to complain about that. I want to only convert Cartesian points to simple points explicitly. So I'm going to use the keyword explicit there, but you do have that option. Then of course it's operator because it's an operator. And the name of the operator is the type that I'm converting it to, which is in this case simple point. Okay. Now the argument is inevitably going to be an object of the class we're in. So Cartesian point, I'll call it point object for an actual name. All right, so that basically sets up the signature now to work on the actual body. So the basic idea here is I want to create a new simple point. I'll call it internally here point struck. Then what I want to do is set the x and y values of this new point struck to the same x and y values of the point object. Okay, so point struck x equals point object dot x. Point struck y equals point object dot y. Pretty straightforward. And then the last thing would simply be to return the actual simple point struck. Okay, which is called point struct. And that's basically that. Because these two, the structure in this class are so similar, this is relatively easy to do. Of course, there might be some more complexity to it in whatever you're doing. I happen to have done one that converts from an object to a structure, but of course it could be one object to another object, or an object to something even more simple, what have you. So I'll just save that up there, go back to the program class. I should notice that my error has gone away. And let's try running this. So it's option number 7. And we can see that, the Cartesian point, when I display it, it comes up as a Cartesian point, 8888. And then when I typecast it as a simple point, I can see I'm getting the same value. So I was successful with my typecasting operator. So as promised, that was a little bit of a shorter video. Again, it's the last video in the series, so that basically completes the tutorial. Thank you very much.